Start from scratch.
Yep. Squiggy! Good evening, James. It's good to see you again.
Teacher?
Okay, so if you remember from last week, we basically didn't have very much time, so we really just went over getting the instrument together, and I see that you have already done that, which is very good. Everything looks good.
Right before I came over.
Your ligature looks good, your reed looks good. Okay, so now, today we're actually going to get into some playing, which is obviously why you chose to play the clarinet, I'm assuming.
What's the playing part? Yeah.
Yes, okay, not the assembly and disassembly. Yeah. Okay, so, when we are playing a woodwind instrument, the most important thing to master and think about in the very beginning is breathing. And, I mean, obviously it's a wind instrument, you're using your breath, but there are many improper ways to breathe, and there's really only one proper way to breathe, and it's not really our normal way of breathing. So it's going to take a little bit of time to get used to it, but with a little bit of practice, it's like second nature. So let me see you take a deep breath. Just maybe, let me see you take your deepest breath that you can take. Okay, yeah, good. All right, so first off, when we're breathing on a woodwind instrument, we need to have good posture. So, feet flat on the floor, feet flat on the floor, and then you're going to sit up straight, okay? So, and I want you to imagine that there is a string running from your head to your tailbone, through your spine, okay? So I want you to reach up with your right hand, grab the end of that string, and pull straight up. And feel your body getting straight. You're not hanging yourself. Okay, you can tie it up there if you would like.
Oh, good, because I was going to...
Yeah. Double knot. Okay, that's good. And then don't let that string fall, because I want you to stay like that, okay?
Got it.
Okay, so when a normal person takes a deep breath without thinking about it, as you demonstrated, we breathe from our chest and our shoulders, because it feels very natural, and that's the way that you'd think we would breathe. But when we're playing a woodwind instrument, we need plenty of support, and the way we do that is from our diaphragm. So I want you to take another deep breath, but I want you to feel it from your stomach, okay? And I want you to feel your stomach and your back expanding and contracting when you breathe. And it'll feel very weird. It almost feels unnatural. So, okay, take another breath, and I want you to not, I don't want these to move. Shoulders and chest, stay where they are.
Okay.
Breathe. Nice, yeah, I saw it move. That's great. So you kind of feel how that's really tight, and it just doesn't feel natural almost?
It doesn't, no.
Right, okay, well this is a good thing. Well, it's not good that it feels unnatural, but it's good that you feel that way because, yeah, okay. So, I'm not going to make you lay down on the floor now, but when you go home and you're practicing, a really good way to remember that feeling, if you forget, is to lay down on your back, flat on the floor, and just breathe. And it is impossible to use your chest or your shoulders when you're flat on the floor. So you will really feel those muscles contracting and expanding. And that's really the feeling you want to get. So,
will it become more natural every time?
It will feel more natural, but it will not become, it is very natural. But okay, so next, now that we have our breathing down, I want to see this posture. This is great. I want to see this through the whole lesson, okay? Well, while we're playing. Okay.
Because honestly, I'm already a little tired.
You're already a little tired. Well, you can take a break for now. But when we're playing and we're actually playing, I want you to be sitting straight up, okay?
My string snapped.
Your string snapped? Oh, well, I'm sorry. We can tie it back up. We can tie it back up. It didn't snap. It just kind of fell down. Okay. So next, to get a good sound on the clarinet, I heard you doodling around on it before I came in, and I heard some squeaks and stuff. But that's very.
Yeah.
I was the squeak king when I started. Okay. I'm sure there's a YouTube video out there.
Well, then I'm the squeak prince.
You're the squeak. Okay.
Let me tell you what.
Okay. So, to create a good, rich, full tone without squeaks on the clarinet, we need to create something with our mouth, which we call an embouchure. And this is kind of, it's the way we move the muscles and we form the mouth around the mouthpiece to kind of seal the air and get a good flow through it and a good rich tone. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is take your bottom lip and roll it over your teeth and bring it down just so it's barely covering your top teeth. Or your bottom teeth. So, yeah, that's looking good. Maybe up a little bit more. Yeah, okay, so keep that. It feels weird. Okay, and then I want you to bring these corners in, bring them in and curl them down a little bit. Yeah, perfect, okay. So now, what I want you to do, you have to keep your, yeah, it's pretty, it tastes like crappy cereal, but you'll get used to it. I want wonder if they make flavored ones, but we'll leave that for another lesson.
That'd be a great idea.
Okay, so now, keeping this, let me see your embouchure. Yep, great. Okay, so bring the mouthpiece up, and I want you to place the reed on top of the lip that is being padded with the teeth. Yeah. Okay, and you're gonna want it to be about 3/8 of an inch into your mouth. I know that's hard to judge, but maybe just here, right in there. I think you could get a little bit more in there. Great, yeah, like that. Bring your corners down and tight. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so now this is the weirdest part. I thought this was super weird at first. I thought it was gonna buzz my teeth, but remember that what is actually vibrating is the reed. So you're actually gonna put your top teeth on the mouthpiece, and it's very weird at first, but. So bring in a little bit more, I think. Yeah, and remember to keep this tight. I think keeping the embouchure tight is one of the biggest keys of getting a successful sound. And are your teeth on the reed or on the mouthpiece?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And yeah, remember to keep it tight. Yeah. Okay. And then yeah, your top lip just wants to kind of be relaxed over the top of the mouthpiece. All right. Well, now we're gonna get to play some sounds on the clarinet. How do you feel about that? Okay, so make sure your reed is wet. And I want you to try to play this note just using your embouchure. Yes, James?
How much pressure do I put on the reed from my lip? Like, do I want to...
You do not want to... Remember
no pressure, or...
You just kind of want to rest it there.
Okay.
Remember that it's the thing that's vibrating, and if you stop it, that's actually another technique we're going to learn. Okay, so I want you to try to play this note. I'll demonstrate first, but... Okay, this is an F sharp, and this is the note I want you to try to get using your embouchure and your good air support. Okay? So just give me a shot, and remember, it should be 30 to 35 degrees out, so maybe just take a look at mine. 30 degrees down. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, obviously. I'm not going to get up. Maybe a little more mouthpiece. Okay, well, you're getting a sound. That's
much better than when I started.
Yeah.
Tell you what.
All right, so let's see this again. Maybe take a little bit more mouthpiece. A little bit. Yeah, that's good. And remember to keep the corners tight and drawn down. Your teeth on top. And you're only you're bringing it up. That's good. Okay. So now another thing we need to remember is I didn't even mention this, is to keep your tongue up. We don't want the tongue to be flat. So I want you to say he, okay, while you're blowing. So he, that kind of thing. Okay, and that should bring your tone up a little bit. Remember to keep it out a little bit more. Yeah. That's
out
good.
more?
Like the angle a little bit more out, like a 35-degree angle, kind of.
Like that?
Yeah, that's good. That's perfect. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. There you go. Yeah. So try to give me a little more breath, and remember to use this. Yeah, that's great. You're only a major second off. That's a lot better than I did the very first time. So I think that's good enough for now. So now, let's see. All right, so now we can go ahead and assemble the clarinet fully. So pick up the rest of your clarinet.
Which is this?
Which is that. And remember from last week, we went over this a little bit. Hold on. So if you forget, I'll give you a little refresher. But basically, you're just going to take this and slide it on there. And you want the reed to line up with this key right here. And that is called don't kill me, but I forget what it's called. Great. And let me just take a peek there, make sure it's straight. Great. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so now we're going to learn how to hold the instrument properly, okay? And it's very weird at first because, when you're playing a recorder, it's very light and you can just kind of hold it. But with the clarinet, we actually have to rest all of the weight on our right thumb using this. And it seems crazy, it seems ridiculous, and I think it kind of is, but after a couple of weeks of playing it, it feels very natural and it's very easy to support it. Okay, so your right thumb, yes, should be about a 45-degree angle. Yeah, and then, exactly, it should be in between your nail and your first knuckle, so maybe bring it over a little bit more this way, this way, this way. No, not the clarinet, you idiot. Alright, yeah, that's looking very good, okay? And as you see, your right hand is already kind of set up for these three holes right here. And so I want you to imagine that you're holding a Coke can, okay? Just imagine that you're holding a Coke can.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of the playing position we want to have when we're playing. Just draped over, not too like tense and not too relaxed, but just enough to where you can get these, and they should always be very close to the holes, okay? The left hand, do you see this hole in the back here?
Mm-hmm.
Your thumb is a lot of the time going to be on that hole, so you can go ahead and just press it in that hole right now. And then same thing with this. Your 3 fingers are going to come over, and you can act like you're holding a Coke can. This, and this. It's kind of a stretch. Yeah, and just do this for me with your left hand. Just act like you're holding a Mountain Dew can. Yeah, that's great. So that's kind of the feeling you want to have. Okay, just like they're nice and arched, like you're kind of holding an egg almost, like a giant egg. Okay, so yeah, that's looking very good. And remember that it should be 30 to 35 degrees. You're already kind of doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the most important things to remember about playing position is that you should always bring the clarinet to your mouth. You should never be like, woo, you know. So chin should be parallel with the floor. Remember a good posture, feet flat on the floor. Your string, I'll get your string for you. I'm going to pull it. Ready? There you go.
Too tight, dude. Too tight.
Okay.
All right.
Is that good?
Yep.
Alright, we're good. Okay, so using your thumb, your draped fingers holding the Coke cans, bring it up to your mouth. Look straight ahead. Bring your chin up a little bit. Yep. Take a little bit more mouthpiece maybe. And yet, a little less than that. Remember, it's about 3/8 of an inch. And your embouchure is looking very good. Remember, just keep those corners tight and drawn in. Your teeth is resting on the mouthpiece, because if it's not, you're going to get squeaks, and that's the worst. Okay, so I think we're ready to actually play some notes.
Good
Isn't
deal.
that exciting? Playing your first notes on clarinet. Okay, I need to make sure we're not running out of time. Oh, dude, we have 15 seconds to learn E.
Oh.
But I think we can go a minute
Go.
over. It's fine. Okay, so we don't want to be rushed, but remember this, remember your posture,
Right.
remember your thumb, remember the draped hands with the Coke cans. Okay, so you're going to cover this hole up with your
Actually
thumb.
cover it.
Actually cover it, and you obviously press this down with it. And then push your first finger over this hole.
Yep.
And if any air leaks out, you're going to get a squeak, which is super obnoxious. So make sure that they're covered. You don't have to press like a death grip. You just need to make sure that it's completely covered, okay? So bring it up. Make sure your weed is wet. Make sure your reed is wet.
Oh, my weed's fine.
Okay? So bring it up. And just like we played that F sharp earlier with the keyboard. Play this note. This is an E. Yeah, very good. How's that feel? Let's keep your top, the top lip a little more relaxed. It seems like it's a little tense. Yeah, that was very good, and the intonation is pretty good. Oh, you're better than me.
I am.
The student has surpassed the master here. I think that's all the time we have for today. A 12-minute lesson is pretty short, but
I can play E. Thank you.
There you go.
I'm
Next
excited.
week-
I'm going to go home and practice.
are you? Remember to lay on the floor and breathe, because that'll get your posture moving.
Good
and
deal.
stuff.